Here's what the productivity gurus won't tell you. The harder you try to focus, the more distracted you become. I'm Ali, and 15 days ago, I became Director of Rehab after years as a physical therapist assistant. I've watched healthcare professionals, some of the most dedicated people on earth, fail spectacularly at focus. Not because they lack compassion, not because they need another system, but because they are fighting the wrong battle entirely. The average knowledge worker gets interrupted every 2 minutes and 15 seconds. They lose $650 billion annually to attention fragmentation. They check email 36 times per hour. And here's the kicker: the more focused techniques they try, the worse it gets. Why? Because modern productivity advisors treat focus like a muscle you can strengthen through force. But 2000 years old Stoic philosophy and cutting edge neuroscience reveals the opposite truth. Unshakable focus comes from letting go, not gripping harder. So, as I told you guys earlier, 2 weeks ago, I became Director of Rehab, right? Before that, I spent years as a physical therapist assistant, watching something fascinating unfold in healthcare setting that nobody talked about. Here's what my days looked like as a PTA. 8 a.m. Patient cancels last minute. My entire morning schedule collapses. 9:30, insurance denies coverage mid-treatment plan for that patient. 11 a.m., equipment breaks during the critical therapy session with the patient. 2 p.m., doctor changes the order. Scrambling weeks of progress. But here's what I observed. The therapists who thrived weren't the one trying to control everything. They were the one who mastered something deeper. I watch brilliant healthcare professionals burn through their emotional and cognitive resources trying to control patients' outcome, insurance decisions, doctor's order. But when they arrive at actual patient care, the work that truly heals, man, they are already depleted. Then I discovered something that changed everything. The most successful therapists and healthcare leader I worked with, the one who prevented burnout, who made clear clinical decisions under pressure, right? Who actually helped patient heal. They all had something in common. They didn't had a better time management, or they didn't had more certifications. They had mastered what the Stoic called the dichotomy of control. Think about it. Healthcare is the ultimate test of this principle. You can't control whether a patient follows their home exercise program. You can't control insurance approval. Well, you can't control healing timelines, but you can control clinical expertise, your compassion, your treatment approach. And here's what blew my mind. Modern neuroscience validate exactly what Marcus Aurelius figured out 2000 years ago while running the Roman Empire. Listen to this quote from Epictetus. Some things are within our power, while others are not within our power. Like our opinion, motivation, desire, aversion, and whatever is our own doing, not within our power, are our body, property, reputation, office, and whatever is not of our own doing. This isn't philosophy class poetry. This is the cognitive operating system that Navy SEALs Admiral James Stockdale used to survive 7 years as a POW. That Warren Buffett uses to ignore market noise and focus on customer value. That Bill Belichick used to win the 6th Super Bowl with his do your job philosophy. Here's what the research shows. People with an internal locus of control, those who focus on what they can influence, outperforms the externally focused people by 30 to 60% across every measurable outcome. Better decision making, higher resilience, reduced anxiety. But here's the counterintuitive part. Modern productivity advices gets this backwards. A study from UC Irvine shows that mind wandering enhances creativity by 41%. Harvard research proves that multitasking can increase cognitive flexibility. Yerkes-Dodson research demonstrate that trying harder actually decreases the performance on the complex task. The productivity industrial complex wants you to focus on everything. The Stoic discovered the secret. Focus intensely on what you can control, accept everything else. This creates what I call your control zone, a mental fortress where distraction can't penetrate because you are only engaging within what you can actually influence or control, basically. So here is my framework, the control zone protocol. It has 3 steps. So here is my step number 1, the daily audit. This is morning ritual. Every morning before checking email or messages, spend 10 minutes with what Marcus Aurelius called, the view from the above. That this is basically like a control zone audit. Okay, so your zone 1 is your complete control. Your thoughts, your decision, your responses, efforts, preparation, everything comes in zone 1. Zone 2 is basically influence only. And it has to be with like outcomes, relationships, health, reputation. Zone 3, no control. Okay, like other people, actions, their actions, market conditions, past events, natural disaster, all of these comes into category of zone 3. Write down your 3 most important objectives for the day, then ruthlessly categorize every related factor into one of these zones. Let me give you an example. Like you're leading a team meeting as a new director of rehab. The zone 1 is going to be your preparation. It's going to be my preparation, my agenda, my clear communication, because how I communicate in the meeting, it's going to be depending on me. It's going to be my control. If I need to prep for the communication, I should, because that's in my control, right? And then active listening. Those are going to be in the zone 1. Zone 2 is going to be like team engagement, their questions, and the meeting outcome. Zone 3 is basically the budget constraints. It's not in my control, so I'm not going to worry about it. Corporate policies, again, it is what it is. It's not in my control. I'm not going to worry about it. past department issues. Again, it's past, it's already happened. Not whatever happened in the past is not in my control, so I'm not gonna think about it, right? Okay, so here's the side note about the goals. Like whenever you're making the goals in zone 1, or if you're describing it to anyone, the Stoic uses it, and it's called the Stoic reserve clause. So like you are ending every goal with fate permitting, or if nothing prevents it. This isn't pessimism, it's cognitive protections against outcome attachments. Okay. All right, now we are done with the step 1. Now step 2, the interruption filter. Remember, you get interrupted every 2 minutes. It takes 23 minutes to regain the deep focus. Do the math. Without the defense system, you never actually focus. So here is the Stoic filter questions. When any interruptions arise, ask these questions. Question number 1, is this within my control zone? Question number 2, does engaging with this moves my zone 1 objective forward? Question number 3, am I being hijacked by someone else's urgency? Here's what will surprise you. Studies shows that excessive focus can actually impair the performance. The research on hyperfocus reveals that trying to concentrate too intensely narrows your attention so severely you miss important information. This is the intelligent unfocus technique. 90 minutes of focus work on zone 1 activities. Okay. After that, do 15 to 20 minute strategic break where you deliberately let your mind wander. This activates your default mode, the brain system that consolidates learning and generates insight. Elite performers don't focus harder, they focus smarter. All right, now let's get to step number 3, the evening review. Seneca wrote, when the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine the whole day and measure my deeds and words. So our step number 3 is the control zone review. What did I try to control that was outside the zone 1? This is basically you are identifying your energy leaks. Where did I let zone 3 event disturb my judgment? This is basically you're trying to build emotional resilience. And then third, then how can I expand my zone 1 influence tomorrow? You are thinking about a compound growth basically. Studies from modern Stoicism movement tracked over 2,000 participants. Those who practiced controlling the controllable showed 0.51 correlation with life satisfaction, one of the strongest predictor research have found. The obstacle reframe. Tim Ferriss called this fear setting. When you encounter setbacks, ask, how is this obstacle pointing me towards what I can control? Patient, not progressing. Focus on refining your treatment approach. Insurance denial, well, focus on improving documentation skills. You have a staff shortage, focus on optimizing current team efficiency. You have a difficult patient, well, focus on enhancing your communication technique. This isn't positive thinking, it's strategic thinking. You are redirecting mental energy from laminating zone 3 events towards improving zone 1 capabilities. Let's look at how elite performers actually apply this. Admiral James Stockdale. He is the ultimate test case. He survived 7 years as a Vietnam POW by applying Epictetus' teaching. His survival strategy, I quote, I will control my response to torture. I cannot control their action, right? Result: Medal of Honor recipient. Led prisoner resistance that saved lives. Warren Buffett. Investing mastery. When European currency fluctuations threatened Brooks' running, Buffett told the CEO, and I quote, "Ignore what you cannot control and focus on customer instead." Berkshire Hathaway's consistent outperformance comes from focusing on business fundamentals while ignoring the market noise. Bill Belichick. Systemic excellence. Do your job isn't just a slogan, it applies stoicism. Player focus on their specific responsibility, which is zone 1, rather than opponent strategies or game outcome, zone 3. Result: 6 Super Bowl victories. SEAL teams uses the Big 4 mental conditioning. Goal setting, zone 1 focus. Visualization, which is basically a mental rehearsal of controlled response. Positive self-talk, controlling internal dialogues. Breathing control, which is basically physiological regulation. They break overwhelming challenges into controllable segments just to get to the next meal. This is dichotomy of control under extreme pressure. Mayo Clinic research shows healthcare workers using controlled, focused coping strategies have 40% lower burnout rates. When therapists focus on what they control, which is like treatment quality, patient education, professional development, rather than what they can't, which is like patient compliance, insurance system, administrative burdens, job satisfaction, they increase their outcome by 52%. One physical therapy director I studied for this video transformed her department by implementing control zone thinking. What she did was staff meetings shifted from complaining about insurance denial, which is zone 3, to improving documentation system, which is zone 1. Result: 30% reduction in claim rejections, 50% improvement in team morale. Similarly, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella transformed the company culture by emphasizing growth mindset, essentially training employees to focus on learning, which is zone 1, rather than appearing smart. Zone 3. Result: Microsoft stock prices increased 500% under his leadership. Alright, before I end today's episode, I know this one is a long one, but I want to give you guys a 30-day control zone challenge. And here's what you need to do. So week 1, audit your attention. Track interruptions for 1 day. Count them. Time your focus recovery. Categorize your daily activities into control zone 1, 2, and 3. Identify your biggest energy leaks to zone 3 concerns. Week number 2. Install the filter. Practice the Stoic filter questionnaire, in real time. Implement 90-minute focus work blocks on zone 1 activities. Add strategic unfocused breaks. This will feel counterintuitive, but trust me and trust the research. It works. Week 3. Systemic integration. Begin daily evening reviews using the control zone framework. Practice the obstacle. Reframe on one setback. Notice decreased anxiety as you stop trying to control the uncontrollable. And then week 4. Advanced technique. Add the Stoic reserve clause to all major goals. Experiment with negative visualization. Imagine setbacks. Plan your response. Train others on control zone thinking, because teaching accelerates mastery. Now, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. The modern world is designed to fragment your attention and exhaust your mental resources. The productivity industry profits from your perpetual overwhelm. They want you chasing more techniques, more apps, more hacks. The Stoic discovered the ultimate life hack 2000 years ago. Master your control zone and everything else become manageable. This isn't about productivity. It's about psychological freedom. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you become truly unstoppable in the areas that matters. I'll see you guys in the next one.